Support WrestleTalk!
Donate on Patreon.
Hello and welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I am El Fakador Laurie Blake. Click the thumbs up, enable notifications, become a subscriber and leave a comment down below to answer the question of the day, which is, what do you think should have main evented Elimination Chamber last night? And also coming up on this episode of WWF News Mercy, Impact made a 7-figure bid for Chris Jericho? WWE stars accused of an affair? And Vince McMahon pulls the plug on the Women's Elimination Chamber plans. But first up, from first time ever forward-thinking stuff like the Women's Elimination Chamber and tag titles to Joey Ryan's penis, which I think is the literal opposite of that in the dictionary. Now, Ryan has been having a bit of a feud with Pat Buck over in Stand-Alone Wrestling, and last week almost got his man bits mauled by a chainsaw. But of course, this being Joey Ryan and also some sort of weird game of cock, paper, scissors, it turns out that dick beats chainsaw. And also, pork sword beats lightsaber, apparently, as Buck tried to get some revenge this week with a dark side coloured laser blade. Take a look at this, it's weird. Buck wrote, "My dark side underestimated Ryan's force." Very impressive. But I hear Ryan can't last more than 12 parsecs in bed. Well, hey. From probably the most laddie thing ever now to a lady thing. Now, these are some incredibly slight, almost entirely inconsequential spoilers for Elimination Chamber coming up. But if you're some sort of purist and you don't want to know, please skip ahead. In 3, 2, 1, because there was a moment just before the WWE title Elimination Chamber main event where Lacey Evans' music hit. She walks out, she struts down the ramp, she turns at the bottom, and she walks back out again without doing or saying anything. It's Vince's master plan at work. You gotta get their faces out there. People then will remember them when we actually have something for them to do. Yeah, they'll remember them as a baffling interlude, a smiling dope, or a horny troll. As you can imagine, at Elimination Chamber, plenty of people at home and in the arena were dumbstruck just how odd this entire thing was. But thankfully, Lacey Evans took to Twitter herself to clear it all up after the show. Y'all don't think I was gonna sit back and not show my classy face during a pay-per-view, did you? Hashtag you nasties. Hashtag you weirdo. This is just another case of WWE missing a trick here. You could have had Lacey Evans come out and get attacked by Kross, setting up an NXT call-up feud that could run across Raw and SmackDown. Or you could have even had an impromptu match booked with Asuka, who didn't actually have a challenger last night and has actually been basically in Elimination Chamber exile, as everyone else on the SmackDown roster already has dance partners for the show. But instead, Asuka was nowhere to be seen at Elimination Chamber, but somehow Kevin Owens was, who gave us another self-filmed health update on the kickoff show. After his bowling interlude on Raw, this time he was bringing a Hawaiian pizza home for his kids, who have the sort of refined palates that I can appreciate, to settle in and then watch the Elimination Chamber. He gave shout-outs to Finn Balor, and he said he cannot wait to see the Riot Squad all walk out as champions. And straight to the bottom of the Wrestle League for you then, Owens. He did also say that he had been rehabbing his injuries that day, and doctors are saying that rehab is going well. Right now they're saying I'm still about a month away, which is quite frustrating, but all you need to know is that the Kevin Owens show is coming back very soon. We're off to Impact for the next story, and it is another comeback and a bit of a spoiler for the most recent set of TV tapings, so you know the drill. If you want to keep the secrets, get out of town. At the tapings, Tessa Blanchard came down to the ring and claimed that she would finally be getting justice on Gail Kim for her unjust suspension and for her losing the Knockouts title at Homecoming. Gail then came down and apologised for wronging Blanchard, but Tessa was having none of it, mate, screaming for a much more specific apology and then for Gail to resign as a backstage producer on the show. Gail revealed that she had in fact resigned as a producer, but would instead be returning to the company as an active wrestler, yelling, "I'm coming back to kick your ass," pummeling Blanchard and then standing tall in the ring. Now, Kim is the only woman in Impact's Hall of Fame and is a safe pair of hands in the ring, on the mic, and someone that they can rely upon when literally everyone else in the world is being hoovered up by other promotions. So, good work, Impact. Thankfully, in these times of trouble, though, Impact has managed to find quite a lot of loyal talent, as it appears that Eddie Edwards may have signed a long-term contract with the company after an announcement at the recent TV tapings. Now, Josh Matthews interviewed Edwards, who said that Impact was going to be his permanent home for a long time, and his goal is to help take the company to the next level. Which is great news, because Edwards actually has the feel of a homegrown hero in Impact, and is also super over with the crowd. What more could you want? It was also revealed that the next set of TV tapings will see yet another signee revealed as well. I mean, if this is anything like the tease of a former Impact champion returning when everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's Austin Aries," and it was actually Rob Van Dam, it's like they're going to sign someone weird like Rick Steiner. When it comes to locking talent down, though, one person they may not have to worry about leaving is Killer Kross, though they should be worried about everything else he does because he's a creep. Now, shortly after Kross made his Impact debut, another company apparently came sniffing around, and can you guess what they were called? Yes, it was WWE, who reached out to Kross and apparently expressed an interest, which Kross confirmed in an interview with Interactive Wrestling Radio just last week. He said, "That is absolutely true. Yes. Everything happens for a reason. I don't say this in a negative way, but I don't think people in WWE internally or the fan base would have had any idea how to receive this character if I had went there first with it. That has a lot to do with their general platform and presentation. I don't think they would have known how to implement this character." Who says WWE don't understand people's characters? Are you joking, mate? Just checking though, Killer Kross is a 90s hip-hop thing, right? It's like, jump, jump, Killer Kross will make you jump, jump, Now, sadly, someone who didn't think that Impact was jumping was Chris Jericho, because Y2J's been out and about doing the thing he does best, listing all of the reasons why he went to New Japan, then All Elite, and not to WWE on Wrestling Observer Radio. But he also revealed an interesting fact about Impact in the process too, saying, "In my mind, from a pure business standpoint, I'm worth as much as Brock Lesnar to WWE as far as what I bring to the table. That's the watermark that I had. For me to go back to Vince, I want that kind of a deal. When I was starting to talk with Tony Khan and New Japan and Impact as well, Impact offered me a hell of a deal for a 4-match series. We're talking mid-7 figures. They have some cash as well. When they believe in something, they have the money for it." Unfortunately, it sounds like the big money, and no doubt his friendship with Don Callis, wasn't quite enough to entice Jericho to Impact even just for 4 matches. And apparently he also said that Vince didn't even try to match the offers he received from the other companies, which obviously led to him eventually signing with AEW. Next, some less than fabulous news that has been all over the internet for the past few days. Now, Corey Graves' wife, Amy Polinsky, took to Instagram on Friday, calling out her husband and WWE superstar Carmella for having an alleged affair. The since-deleted post said, "This may be totally below me to do, but I'm hurt, I'm sad. I put 11 years into supporting a man to accomplish his dream, only for him to punch me in the gut. I've been through suicide attempts, alcoholism, among so much more with him, and stuck by his side. The kicker is finding out that he's been sleeping with one of my daughter's role models all along. Carmella and Corey Graves, I hope you guys are happy. I really do." Now, this kicked off a whole spat of reveals and quick deletions from Polinsky as she reposted alleged text between Corey and a third party in which Graves apparently criticised his wife, sidestepped affair allegations, and suggested that Total Divas producers were already in contact with him over the affair, saying what's really going to F her up is when she finds out that Total Divas just hit me up. WWE haven't made a statement yet regarding the whole fiasco, but maybe it's about time they should, as fans at Elimination Chamber last night certainly weren't letting it go, audibly chanting Corey Graves while Carmella was in the ring during the Chamber match. And according to Brian Alvarez, it also meant that the planned order of eliminations was changed, with Naomi and Carmella being eliminated first to cut down on negative fan reaction. To be fair, it was a pretty terrible week for the Fabulous Glow, all told. And the same minimising of fan reaction seems to have gone for the commentators who usually get a little entrance with music and a Titantron, and they reportedly didn't get that at Elimination Chamber. Instead, it was skipped over, probably in the hopes, as you would imagine, of cutting down the chances that Corey would be booed. And whether that controversy had anything to do with it or not, the Women's Chamber match was not the main event of the show, like some thought it would be. Now, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful reported that WWE had been indecisive when it comes to which match would close the show heading into the pay-per-view, and some wrestlers had even been told that the Women's Chamber was closing out the show. However, that was all changed last minute by a word from Vince McMahon himself, who reportedly thought that the women's match would not get the desired reaction needed to close out the show. Now, I had a joke about this, but it was quite a spoiler, so instead... Screw you, Vince. Sapp did add about the entire thing that this sounds very much like a plans change situation, and it is. But it was a minute-by-minute change. There was no decision heading into the day on what match was going to go last, and the company had the benefit of having the ability to switch both matches around, considering that they would both be in the chamber structure. And to be fair to them, admittedly, they were both pretty damn good chamber matches, so either finishing up would have actually been fine with me. Especially since I don't really care, because a lot of the results from this show helped keep me above Ollie and Luke in the Wrestle League, and that is all that matters. Because in terms of predictions from the chamber, Ollie and I got 5 correct guesses, making us 4th total for that show, while Luke, poor Luke, got just 3, which made him 6th. Which means that in the full Wrestle League spectrum, Luke has a measly 8 points and is in 8th place overall. Ollie is in 5th place with 11 points, and I'm 3rd on the board with a whopping 13 points, which means that Luke is going to have to pull off a major comeback if he doesn't want to do another music video. I think he secretly wants to. And that's not the only good news from me, and also for the wider WrestleTalk world from this weekend, because we have just passed 1,000 Patreons. Sound the victory foghorn, pop those party poppers, do some sort of weird effect on the backdrop. Woohoo! This means that we're going to be doing monthly WrestleSketch episodes starting this month. And we are also going to be looking for an up-and-coming wrestler to sponsor. Boom! You made this happen, team. Thanks so much. But that is not all, because it is ever onwards and upwards for the SWAF Nation, because our new goal is 1,500 Patreons, and if we get that, we are going to put on our own wrestling show with actual honest-to-goodness wrestlers, not just Ollie, Luke, and myself in ill-fitting singlets. Not just that. Probably that as well. Click the WrestleTalk.com link that is on screen now to see where you ranked in the Wrestle League predictions battle to end all time. And don't forget to answer the question of the day, which is, which match do you think should have main evented the Elimination Chamber last night? I've been El Fakador, and that was Lucha.